Welcome back to the second part of the research paper documentation styles videos. The first video mentioned the MLA style, and this video will deal with the APA style. So you'll notice we'll be going on to the next portion of this particular document to pick up with the APA style. So we're going to work with the same Maori people of New Zealand video, but we're doing it APA style. So let's find out what APA wants from a student who's writing a research paper. Here's that document again. Here we go. What does APA say? The first page of the paper should be the title page. To me, all of this stuff needs to go down to a new page. Everything on this paper should go down to a new page. So how do I put in a new page? Recall from the previous video that a manual page break can be inserted, and using Control and Enter is going to push down all the other content to create a brand new page. And this is what we want. Control and Enter gives you a new page. There's another way to get there, but let's stick with the shortcut for now. On this new page, we want it to be our title page. There's supposed to be a running head, the page number, the title, the author's name, the institutional affiliation, the course title and number, followed by the date on the paper that is to be submitted. So let's start with the header. Recall that to get to the header, you would simply double click. Now APA style says you need a running head, but it only should appear on page 1 and not on the other pages. So how do you fix that? Fine. There's a checkbox in the header and footer tools tab which says different first page. And when I check that, only page 1 should have what I'm typing now. Page 1 should have running head, and then following running head is the title of the paper. Remember the paper's title? Well, let's remind you. It is The Maori History of New Zealand. Okay, that's in the header. So it says running head, colon, The Maori History of New Zealand, and this is only going to show up on page 1. And I'm going to hit the tab key just so I can get my insertion point to the right margin so that I can insert just like I would have done before. The page number button, current position, plain number. So how do I know it's only on page 1? Scroll to page 2 and you should not have anything down there. Only page 1 has the running head, Maori History of New Zealand, page 1. What should be on the other pages then? Let's insert the header for page 2 and onward. Here, we still have the title, The Maori History of New Zealand. And I'm pressing tab twice this time. Still putting in the page number. Notice it still numbers sequentially, but it's just that you don't have the words running head. So check page 1 with the running head and the title and the page number, versus page 2 and onward without the title running head beside it. And the page numbers will continue. So back to the title page. APA style suggests that this title page be centered. The contents of the title page should be centered. So I'm using my shortcut keys here, Control and E, and place somewhere approximate middle. So I'm just pressing enter a couple of times. What's supposed to be on this page? The title of the paper, same thing, The Maori History of New Zealand. And I'm going to hit enter. What else is missing? The page numbers and title page. We have to fix that. We want the author's name. So who's writing this paper? It which is you. For the purpose of this video, we're just going to say the author's name, who has written this paper. Below that should be what university or institution are you writing this paper for? So for the purpose of this, we're putting here school, university or college affiliation. And here, of course, you type the Antigua and Barbuda International Institute of Technology, because this is the institution. Below that will be the name of the course. I'm just going to put course name here. And then below that will be the date. This is what's on, and the date here is the date in which the paper is to be submitted. And this is pretty much what's going to be on the title page. You know, I'm trying to get it approximately centered, just give or take some space, but this is what the APA title page would look like. Name of the paper, whoever the author is of writing this paper, the school, university, or college affiliation, and here you'd write Abbott. What's the name of the course that you're doing this paper for, and what's the date of submission. Now let's head to the body of the paper. Like the MLA style, APA 2 also wants Times New Roman size 12 font. We established that this is already the case. Size 12, Times New Roman. They also want their document double-spaced, so I've selected all of the text, and I'm proceeding to use the double spacing button. They too want their page margins to be 1 inch, top, bottom, left, and right. That also is the case here as well. About that indentation, yep, they want a 1/2 inch indent too. We're going to use the ruler. Remember, we got the ruler by going to the View tab and checking the box for ruler. And on the ruler, we had dragged the first line indent marker to the 0.5 mark, and that indented all the paragraphs. Now, just before the beginning of your paper, you type the title here again. So I'm going to press enter. I'm going to use my up arrow to take me back to the beginning. Then I need to center the paragraph's title. And the title here is The Maori People History of New Zealand. And that's the title again. Now, the references tab. We're switching the styles from MLA to APA. We have the 6th edition of APA, so that we can get our citations represented according to the APA style. And you will see a slight difference in how they're displayed. Now those references we need to put in, we'll do them again and see how does APA display these references. Alright, so recall that our first reference was beside the word cloud. And it was a book. So let's do this again. Insert citation, add new source, and you would have indicated the book and would have indicated the author, title, year, city, and publisher. Now, since I have this information on a paper, I've got to type it in. Otherwise, if you had it stored previously, you could have inserted them. So who's the authors? Recall that you hit the edit button to add more than one author, and the authors were James, the last name Louis, first name James, middle initial H. And we added each author because multiple authors require a special touch, I suppose. We have McKenna, first name Tim, middle initial none. We have the third author, Macintosh, first name was Tracy. We added that author, and then we added the last one, which was Tiara, and her first name was Teresa. We clicked on OK. Following that was the title of the book, which was New Zealand Identities, Departures and Destinations. And the year was 2005. The city was Astra Print Wellington, and the publisher was Victoria University Press. Now, MLA Star indicated that the medium was print, and I suppose you have to show our bibliography fields to find that box so you can put in the medium, and it's print. And once you click on OK, here's what MLA Style does differently from APA. But notice the difference is they included the year. The MLA paper, you only saw Louis McCrenna and Mackintosh. Only 3 authors were noted. But the APA style noted all 4, including the year. Let's put in the other one. Let's see how that comes out. The other one is a journal article, and recall in the previous video, we had posted this particular citation in the second to last sentence of the 5th paragraph after the word tribe. So we're counting paragraphs again. Paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's the word tribe. Same process, insert citation, add new source, and this was not a book but a journal article. And we indicated that they had 2 authors, and we use the edit button for that as well. And we typed Dewey, first last name, Mason, first. We added that one. We put in Mermanson, first name Gary, and we added both authors and clicked OK. The title of the article was Counseling the Maori People in New Zealand. And the name of the journal was International Journal for the Advancement of Counseling. And the year 1990 to 04, and pages 107 to 118. Now there's some things missing here, and of course that's the show or bibliography fields. And what am I putting in? I need to indicate the volume and the issue. Volume number 13, issue number 2, and the medium as well is indicated, that's print. And I also need to indicate the publisher in here, which is Comer Academic Publisher. Comer Academic Publisher. And we click on OK. And what comes out is Drury and Mermanson, 1990 to 04. Notice the year. In MLA style, you only saw Drury and Mermanson. Interestingly, is the MLA style seems to have generated Chinese characters previously, but when using APA, it does not. I'm not sure what my computer is up to, but this is what I've got to work with. So let's put in the last source. Recall that this last source was a website, and it's placed somewhere at the end of the second sentence in the last paragraph. So last paragraph after the word traditions. Second sentence, last paragraph, traditions. So let's go again. Insert citation, add new source, and one author was, and of course, make sure we change journal article to website. And here we have Manhire, Toby. The name of the web page was Unlocking Maori Identity, um, keeping New Zealand's indigenous people out of jail. The name of the website was The Guardian, and the year in which this was published, 2015, the month it was published, August, and the date was published, the 15th, and the URL, and I indicated that the ideal method would have been to copy and paste the URL into place. So for the purpose of this, I'm shortening it. www.theguardian.com. Of course, as I said, forward slashes and dashes and all sorts of things follow this. What of the other information? Let's show all bibliography fields, and for the purpose of the activity, I'm going to fill in the year accessed, which was 2016, the month accessed, which was January, and the day accessed was the 18th, and I believe the medium was also represented here, and this was web. Once I click on OK, and I think I have an error here, it's supposed to be Manhire with an E, and I'm going to go ahead and fix it. I'm using the citations options button. I'm going to edit the source and put on the E in Manhire and click OK. And it's going to ask me if I'm sure I want to update them. I'm going to say yes, and it should reflect in the document now. Okay, so we have the three sources. Notice APA style displays the year. So how does the bibliographical list look when done with the APA style? Recall that we need a separate page for our sources, and Control and Enter is going to generate a new page for me. I'm going to replace the first line indent marker to the 0 mark, since I had done it prior to going on to this page. And the title here is not works cited, but references. APA style says title your list of bibliographical sources with the title references. And similarly, references tab in the citations and bibliography group, we use the bibliography button and we click on insert bibliography. And as noted in the previous video, I do have to indicate a double spacing for this. It already has a hanging indent, and as I said, my software seems to be doing strange things, but ideally yours should come out showing the last name with the first initial only. I've got to remove quite a few of my spelled out first names here to meet the requirements, of course. As I say, you would not have to do this, right? If I submit a paper looking like this, they'd probably look at it funny. So yours will probably come out kind of looking more according to what APA does require. But as I say, my Chinese laptop is doing what it wants to do. And I've got to remove these symbols that you see appearing here just to meet requirements. And I believe somewhere between here should be the words retrieved from. And I hope that this meets the, it kind of should look like it, what the APA style is all about. And just slight differences in how the software generates the APA style versus the MLA style. I'm noticing an error here, and this should be international. So how do I fix this? I'm going to go to the References tab. I'm going to Manage Sources, and this particular one that I need to fix is Jury Mason and Mermanson. I'm going to edit this one. This word is supposed to be international. So I'm going to fix that. From time to time you do pick up errors. So now that I've done so, and I'm going to click on OK, and I'm sure I do want to update both lists. I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to close this. And how do I know that the change was made? I'm going to right click the list of sources, then I'm going to click on update field so that it picks up the international, and of course this would have sent my references back to looking all crazy, but otherwise I would fix it here. Okay, and as I said, that's just my computer. Now, you wouldn't have to be doing all this fixing because your software should be generating the right things. So this is it for APA documentation style. Let's just take a look at it from the top. APA wants a separate title page, and on its title page, on the very first page, and remember we had to use this different first page checkbox to indicate that this page, page 1 only, has the running head, the words running head, followed by the title, then the page numbers, and then on this separate page you have the title of the paper, the author's name, who's writing it, and that's you. What school, university, or college are you affiliated with? That's Antigua Barbuda International Institute of Technology. The course name, whatever the class you're writing the paper for, and you would indicate the date, and this is all centered on page 1. And when you get to page 2, because we had set the header differently, page 2 and onward, the header will just have the title, The Maori History of New Zealand, along with the page number. Just before the beginning of the paragraphs, you would have the Maori History of New Zealand again as the title, and we proceeded to put in the 3 sources, Louis, McCrenna, Mackintosh, and Tiawa, and noted that APA style shows 4 sources, including the year. Otherwise, MLA had simply indicated only 3, no year. And you can check out the other sources that came in as well, Dewey and Mermanson, and they indicated the year. This is APA style. And then the very last one, which showed up in the document, was Manhire and the year 2015. And the references page would have indicated according to the APA style, because APA wants their references, their bibliographical listing, to have a title of references, while MLA asks for a title called works cited. So you can compare the 2 papers to see what's the big difference, right? And that major difference is that cover page that comes with the APA style. Of course, some will include a separate page for the abstract, and of course you would enter you do a control enter here if you needed to put an abstract, and you begin to title that. And an abstract is just a short description as to what will we see in the paper when the person comes to read this paper. What are they expecting to read, and what keywords do they expect to find? And you'd write that abstract before you begin the paper. So this is it for the APA style, and be prepared to generate your own APA papers in class, as well as when you are required to do so for any research activity for this institute or any institute that you go forward to. Thanks for viewing.